There is no greater victory than the victory over oneself. The man who masters his mouth, his mind, his mood, and his money becomes unstoppable because he has stripped the world of its power over him. Control your mouth, for your words are seeds. Careless speech plants weeds of conflict and regret. Wise speech plants forests of opportunity and respect. Every sentence you speak either builds your future or burns it down. Choose each word as if your life depended on it. Control your mind, for it is the command center of your destiny. Whatever you allow inside will eventually shape your outside. Protect it like a fortress. Refuse entry to doubt, fear, and small thinking. Feed it daily with vision, clarity, and relentless focus. Control your mood, for emotions are like fire. They can warm your life or burn it to ashes. Do not hand your peace to circumstances or people. A calm mind in chaos is the strongest weapon a human can carry. Control your money, for it is a mirror of your discipline. Every dollar you waste on fleeting pleasures is a dollar stolen from your future freedom. Spend with intention, invest with wisdom, and save with purpose. Money in the hands of the disciplined multiplies. Money in the hands of the careless disappears. The world does not belong to the loudest, the richest, or the angriest. It belongs to the one who has mastered himself. You cannot command others until you command yourself. Master your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money, and you will master your life. Silence is power. The person who can remain silent when others rush to speak carries an invisible strength that few will ever understand. The loudest voice in the room is not always the strongest. Often, it is the quiet mind, the one that listens, observes, and calculates before speaking, that holds the true advantage. When you control your mouth, you control the image you project, the respect you receive, and the opportunities that come your way. A single word can open a door or close it forever, and those who know when to keep it shut hold the keys to their own success. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. The world is full of noise, opinions shouted without thought, emotions poured out without restraint, and arguments fought with no purpose but to be heard. In such a world, the one who speaks less and listens more becomes a rare presence, a presence people take seriously. When you talk too much, you reveal your plans, your emotions, and even your weaknesses. But in silence, you become unpredictable. You keep your thoughts where they belong, inside your control, not in the hands of others. A disciplined mouth begins with a disciplined mind. Words do not appear on their own, they are born in your thoughts. If you train your mind to filter before speaking, you will avoid the mistakes that destroy relationships, opportunities, and reputations. How many people have ruined their careers, friendships, and trust with one careless sentence? How many have revealed their insecurities, their anger, or their ignorance simply because they could not resist the urge to speak? Every word you release is a weapon or a gift. You must decide which. When you stay silent, you gain time. Time to think, time to judge the moment, time to understand the other person before responding. This is the edge the impulsive never have. While they speak without thinking, you think without speaking. They give away their position, you learn theirs. They tell you what they know, you reveal nothing. This is how silence builds influence. Silence also protects your mood. People will try to pull you into arguments, provoke your temper, or feed you negativity. If you answer every insult, if you react to every attack, you give strangers control over your state of mind. But when you choose not to respond, when you refuse to play their game, you remain in command. No one can steal your peace without your permission. Silence trains patience. It forces you to observe before acting. Most people are addicted to reaction. They feel something and they must express it instantly. But real power is in the pause. It is in the gap between stimulus and response where you decide whether the moment is worth your energy. Silence gives you that gap. It allows you to step back and see the bigger picture. Your silence makes others uncomfortable, and that discomfort often works in your favor. People expect noise, reaction, and opinion. When you give them none, they begin to question themselves. They wonder what you're thinking, and in that wondering, they often reveal more than they intended. You, meanwhile, learn more than you ever could by speaking. Silence sharpens focus. Every conversation you avoid, every gossip you ignore, every pointless debate you refuse to join frees your mind for things that matter. The time and energy wasted on meaningless talk can be used to build your skills, strengthen your vision, and execute your plans. The quiet worker who moves in silence is often the one who shocks the world when the results appear. But silence is not just the absence of words. It is the presence of control. You are not silent because you have nothing to say. You are silent because you know not everything needs to be said. You are not silent because you are afraid. You are silent because you understand that timing is everything, and sometimes the right time never comes. This control extends beyond your mouth. When you train yourself to be silent, you begin to master your mind. You learn to sit with your thoughts, to filter the ones worth keeping from the ones worth discarding. You start to notice how much of the world's noise tries to invade your head every day, and you develop the discipline to shut it out. That discipline is the foundation of self-mastery. Your mood follows your mind. If you can keep your thoughts calm, you can keep your emotions steady. The person who controls their mood in a storm commands the respect of everyone watching. And when you combine silence with a calm mood, your presence becomes unshakable. People may try to provoke you, but you remain still. They may try to pull you into their chaos, but you stand apart. This is how leaders are recognized, not by the volume of their voice, but by the strength of their composure. Even your money is tied to your silence. How? Because silence requires discipline, and discipline in one area spreads to others. The same self-control that keeps you from speaking out of turn will keep you from spending out of impulse. You will think before you speak, and you will think before you spend. This is how fortunes are built, not just in wealth, but in reputation, trust, and influence. Silence is power because it puts you in control of yourself, and the one who controls himself cannot be controlled by others. The loud make themselves predictable. The silent keep themselves mysterious, and mystery is a form of strength because people respect what they cannot fully understand. So hold your tongue when the urge to speak rises. Listen more than you talk. Think longer than you act. Let your results make the noise. In a world addicted to endless chatter, your silence will be the rarest, most valuable sound anyone hears. And in that silence, your power will grow beyond measure. Guard your thoughts, because your mind is the factory of your future. Everything you do, everything you become, and everything you lose begins first in the secret space of your thinking. If your thoughts are poisoned, your actions will be poisoned. If your thoughts are strong, your life will be strong. You cannot rise higher than the quality of what you feed your mind. A man can have talent, resources, and opportunity, but if his thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and limitation, he will sabotage himself before the world ever has the chance to stop him. Your thoughts are not harmless. They are blueprints. Every dream, every plan, every disaster begins with a single idea. If you let the wrong ideas live in your head, they will quietly build a prison around you while you think you are free. Negative thinking is not just an attitude problem. It is a disease that infects every decision you make, every risk you take, and every opportunity you either see or miss. Guarding your thoughts means protecting the mental gates of your life. Every day, countless voices try to enter your mind. Social media, television, gossip, opinions of people who are going nowhere, the noise of the world. If you do not stand as a soldier at the gates, they will march in and take over. And once they are in, they will plant seeds of insecurity, fear, laziness, and comparison. And once those seeds grow, you will live a life smaller than your potential without even realizing it. You must treat your mind like a garden. In a garden, weeds grow without permission, but flowers require deliberate planting and care. Your mind works the same way. Doubt, fear, and jealousy will grow naturally if you do nothing. Discipline, confidence, and vision will grow only if you plant them daily and guard them fiercely. You cannot leave the soil of your mind unprotected. If you do, the weeds will take over and choke out everything good. The thoughts you allow are shaping the person you are becoming right now. You cannot think like a victim and live like a leader. You cannot think like a quitter and live like a winner. The mind will always produce what it is told to focus on. If you constantly think about problems, your life will be full of them. If you constantly think about solutions, your life will start to reflect them. Where your attention goes, your reality follows. Guarding your thoughts also means choosing your mental diet carefully. What are you feeding your mind every day? Are you feeding it with books, knowledge, and vision, or with mindless entertainment and negativity? A strong mind is not built by accident. It is built by constant training, constant exposure to ideas that challenge you, and constant rejection of anything that makes you smaller. Just as the body grows stronger with good nutrition and exercise, the mind grows sharper with quality input and disciplined focus. You must also guard against the inner voice of doubt. This voice will tell you you're not ready, not capable, not worthy. It will whisper reasons to delay, excuses to quit, and fears to obey. If you let this voice lead you, it will steer you into a life of regret. You cannot always silence the voice of doubt, but you can refuse to believe it. When doubt speaks, you speak back with action. The best way to destroy a negative thought is to replace it with a stronger, positive one backed by immediate effort. People around you will try to plant their own thoughts in your mind. Some will do it out of love, but from their own fears, telling you to be careful, to play it safe, to not dream too big. Others will do it out of envy, trying to pull you down to the level they have accepted for themselves. Guard your thoughts by guarding your associations. The company you keep determines the thoughts you hear most often, and the thoughts you hear most often will eventually become your own. If you want to rise, surround yourself with people who speak possibility, not limitation. Guarding your thoughts requires discipline, but it also requires awareness. You must learn to watch your own thinking, to catch yourself when your mind starts drifting into weakness. The moment you notice a destructive thought, stop it and replace it. This is not easy. At first, your old thinking will try to pull you back, but with practice, you will train your mind to stay on the path that serves you. A guarded mind becomes a weapon. It cuts through distraction, resists manipulation, and stays focused under pressure. When others are losing their focus, you keep yours. When others are drowning in negativity, you rise above it. This is how leaders think. They do not allow the world to dictate what lives in their head. They choose their thoughts the way a warrior chooses his weapons, carefully, strategically, and with the intent to win. Your life will always move in the direction of your dominant thoughts. If your mind is full of fear, you will live a fearful life. If your mind is full of excuses, you will live an unfulfilled life. But if your mind is full of vision, discipline, and faith, your life will reflect those things. Guard your thoughts as if your life depends on it, because it does. The battles you face in the outside world are nothing compared to the battle happening inside your own head. Win there first, and the rest of life will follow. You cannot control every event in life, but you can control the meaning you give it. You can decide whether a failure is the end or a lesson. You can decide whether a setback is a signal to quit or a signal to fight harder. These decisions are made in the mind long before they are acted on in the world. The one who guards their thoughts chooses the meaning that leads to growth. In the end, your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. Guard them like treasure because they are. Protect them from the noise, from the doubters, from the fearmongers, and from your own moments of weakness. Build them with discipline, feed them with purpose, and direct them with vision. Do this, and you will rise above the chaos of the world, because no force is greater than a mind under your complete control. Emotions are servants, not masters. The moment you allow your emotions to take the throne, they will rule your life with chaos and inconsistency. The man who bows to his emotions will be led into battles he never needed to fight, and away from victories he could have claimed. The man who commands his emotions will be feared, respected, and trusted because he is unshakable. Feelings are temporary visitors, but decisions can have permanent consequences. If you let a moment of anger, fear, or sadness dictate your actions, you may destroy in seconds what took you years to build. Emotions have a role. They are meant to inform you, not control you. Anger can show you where injustice is. Fear can warn you of danger. Excitement can fuel your drive. But when any of these emotions take the wheel, you stop thinking and start reacting. Reactions are impulsive. They are the reason great opportunities are missed, relationships are broken, and reputations are ruined. The one who reacts without thinking is a puppet, and the strings are pulled by the heat of the moment. To control your emotions, you must first acknowledge them without judgment. Do not pretend you feel nothing. That is not strength, that is denial. Strength is recognizing that you are angry but choosing not to explode. It is feeling fear but still moving forward. It is having joy but not losing focus. Your emotions should be like trained soldiers, ready to act when called, but disciplined enough to stand still until commanded. The greatest leaders in history were not the ones who never felt emotion. They were the ones who could stand in the middle of chaos and keep their heads clear. When panic spread, they stayed calm. When others drowned in despair, they kept moving. People follow calm in a storm, and calm only comes from a mind that is not enslaved by feeling. You must understand that your emotions are often liars. Anger will tell you to burn bridges that you still need. Fear will tell you to quit when you are one step away from victory. Excitement will tell you to leap before you look. If you listen to every emotional impulse, you will spend your life building and destroying in cycles, never reaching lasting success. Control is not about suppressing emotion. It is about translating it into deliberate action. There will be times when people try to manipulate you by triggering your emotions. They will insult you to spark your anger, frighten you to limit your courage, flatter you to lower your guard. If you are ruled by emotion, they will win before you even realize what happened. But if you stay centered, if you keep your mind above your feelings, their attempts will fail. They cannot control a man who refuses to be moved by every push and pull. Controlling your emotions starts with controlling your environment. If you are constantly surrounded by chaos, negativity, and drama, your emotions will be under constant attack. You cannot expect to remain calm if you live in noise. Guard your space and your time. Feed your mind with ideas that build strength and protect yourself from influences that stir unnecessary reaction. Another key to mastering your emotions is the pause. Most people feel something and immediately act on it. They speak when angry, quit when scared, celebrate too soon when excited. The pause is your weapon. It is the space where you breathe, think, and choose your response instead of letting your emotions choose it for you. A single pause can save a relationship, protect your reputation, and secure an opportunity. Your emotions should work for you. Anger should push you to improve, not to destroy. Fear should sharpen your preparation, not paralyze you. Sadness should deepen your understanding, not drown you. Excitement should inspire discipline, not recklessness. Every emotion has power, but only if it is harnessed. Power without direction is just destruction. Life will not stop testing your control. You will face betrayal, disappointment, rejection, and loss. You will also face sudden success, unexpected praise, and tempting opportunities. Both pain and pleasure can unbalance you if you are not in control. Pain can make you give up too soon. Pleasure can make you lose discipline too fast. The wise understand that balance must be kept in both extremes. The man who rules his emotions is not cold or heartless. He is deliberate. He feels deeply, but he decides wisely. He can enjoy a victory without becoming arrogant and face a defeat without falling apart. He can take criticism without resentment and receive praise without losing humility. This kind of stability is rare, and that is why it is powerful. Your emotions are your servants, but like any servant, they need training. You cannot expect them to obey you if you have spent your life obeying them. This training is built through small acts of self-control every day. When someone offends you, pause before you respond. When fear whispers, take one step forward anyway. When excitement tempts you to rush, slow down and think. Every time you act with control, you strengthen your authority over your feelings. The truth is, no one will follow a leader who is emotionally unstable. No one will trust a partner who changes with every mood. No one will invest in a person who cannot keep calm under pressure. But everyone respects the one who can face both storms and sunshine with the same steady mind. That kind of person is rare, and rarity attracts value. Remember this. Emotions are powerful allies when controlled, but dangerous masters when obeyed. Do not let them sit on the throne. Let them advise you, let them energize you, but never let them command you. The moment you put them in their rightful place, as servants to your vision and discipline, you will become untouchable in a world full of people who are slaves to their feelings. Discipline over desire, that is the line that separates the weak from the unstoppable. Anyone can follow desire. Desire is easy. Desire is comfortable. Desire gives you the illusion of progress while quietly robbing you of it. But discipline is what builds the life you dream about when your desires are satisfied for the moment. Discipline is the choice to do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It is the refusal to bow to the pull of comfort when the path to greatness demands discomfort. Desire is impulsive. It wants satisfaction now, results now, rewards now. It has no patience for the slow grind that real success demands. Discipline, on the other hand, is patient and relentless. It will work for years for a goal that desire would abandon after days. Discipline is not moved by moods. It is not swayed by excuses. It is loyal to the mission, not the moment. Every downfall in life can be traced back to choosing desire over discipline. The body falls apart because desire chose junk food over nutrition. The mind grows dull because desire chose distraction over learning. The wallet empties because desire chose spending over saving. Relationships crumble because desire chose impulse over commitment. You cannot build anything lasting if you are ruled by desire, because desire is short-sighted. It sees the pleasure in front of it and ignores the pain waiting behind it. The greatest victories are won in the small, unseen moments when you choose discipline. Waking up when you want to stay in bed. Saying no when everything in you wants to say yes. Staying focused when the easy escape is right in front of you. No one applauds these decisions in the moment, but years later, those small acts of self-control become the foundation of your power. Desire will tell you to rest when you need to work. It will tell you to quit when you need to push. It will tell you that you've done enough when you have barely started. Discipline does not listen to these lies. Discipline knows that the work must be done regardless of how you feel, because feelings change but results last. The body will protest, the mind will resist, but discipline will march forward. When you choose discipline over desire, you break the cycle that traps most people. Most live in a loop. They chase pleasure, feel regret, then chase more pleasure to numb the regret. Discipline steps out of that loop. It sacrifices short-term comfort for long-term strength. It delays gratification so that when the reward comes, it is real, solid, and lasting. Understand this: discipline is not the absence of desire. It is the mastery of it. You will still feel temptation. You will still crave the easy way. But discipline is the voice that says, not now. We have work to do. It is not about killing your desires, but placing them under control, directing them towards something greater than momentary satisfaction. The truth is, desire is not always wrong. Desire for health, success, and growth can push you forward, but only if discipline is steering. Without discipline, even good desires lead to reckless action. The gym enthusiast who trains without rest will burn out. The entrepreneur who chases every idea without a plan will fail. Discipline gives direction to desire, turning raw energy into results. Discipline will feel like punishment in the beginning. It will feel like you are denying yourself the good things in life. But over time, you will realize that discipline is not taking from you. It is giving to you. It gives you health, because you did not give in to the desire for unhealthy habits. It gives you wealth, because you did not give in to the desire to waste your money. It gives you respect, because you did not give in to the desire to speak or act recklessly. Most people will not choose discipline because they want comfort now. They want the taste of sweetness without the work of planting and harvesting. They want the applause without the grind. But the ones who choose discipline over desire, they are the ones who change the game. They work when no one is watching. They sacrifice when no one understands. And they endure when everyone else gives up. When you look at the lives of the great achievers, you will see one common thread. They mastered themselves. They learned to say no to the wrong things even when they wanted them. They trained themselves to keep going long after the initial excitement faded. They became loyal to their goals, not their moods. And because of this, they built legacies while others built excuses. There will be days when desire screams louder than discipline. You will feel the pull of laziness, the temptation of distraction, the lure of shortcuts. In those moments, you must remember the price of giving in. Every time you choose desire over discipline, you trade a piece of your future for a moment you will soon forget. But every time you choose discipline over desire, you invest in a future you will never want to escape. Your life will always reflect the one you serve, discipline or desire. Serve desire, and you will have fleeting pleasure followed by lasting regret. Serve discipline, and you will have fleeting discomfort followed by lasting success. The choice will present itself every day in small ways and big ones. And each choice will move you closer to one life or the other. So train yourself to obey discipline. Make it the ruler of your actions, the commander of your time, the guard of your focus. Desire will visit, it will tempt, it will plead, but it will never decide. You will decide. And when you choose discipline over desire day after day, you will build a life that desire alone could never give you. That is the power of mastery. That is the strength of self-control. That is how ordinary people become unstoppable. Words create or destroy. Every sentence you speak is a construction tool or a weapon, and you choose which with every breath. A single word can open a door that changes your life, and a single word can slam that same door shut forever. Nations have gone to war because of words. Families have been broken apart because of words. Careers have been launched and destroyed because of words. The tongue is small, but it carries the power to shape futures. You cannot throw words carelessly into the air and expect them to disappear. They will land somewhere, and they will either build or burn. The person who understands this power speaks with intention. They know that every time they speak, they are planting seeds. Some seeds grow into trust, loyalty, and opportunity. Others grow into resentment, hatred, and regret. If you do not choose your seeds carefully, you will spend your life pulling weeds you planted with your own mouth. Your words are an extension of your mind. If your thinking is undisciplined, your speech will be careless. If your mind is full of negativity, your mouth will spread it. If your mind is focused and purposeful, your speech will reflect strength. This is why controlling your mouth begins with controlling your thoughts. You cannot expect to speak powerfully if you think weakly. Every conversation is an opportunity to create value or destroy it. When you encourage, you give strength. When you share knowledge, you give growth. When you speak truth, you give clarity. But when you gossip, you spread poison. When you complain, you spread weakness. When you lie, you destroy trust. Trust is the most expensive currency you will ever own, and your words are the only way you can either earn it or lose it. Your reputation is built largely on your words. People may forget what you wore, what you owned, or even what you did, but they will remember what you said. They will remember how you made them feel through your speech. This is why you must treat your words like currency. Spend them only where they create value. Never waste them on arguments that lead nowhere, on insults that reveal your insecurity, or on promises you have no intention of keeping. Some people speak to fill silence, others speak to impress. But the wise speak to impact. They measure their words because they understand that once spoken, words cannot be taken back. An arrow can be pulled from a wall, but the hole remains. A wound from words may heal, but the scar stays. You may apologize, you may regret, but the damage may already be done. The discipline of speech is rare in a world addicted to talking. People want to be heard more than they want to listen. They want to express before they understand. But true power in speech comes from listening first. When you listen deeply, your words become sharper, more accurate, and more effective. You speak less, but say more. Your words also shape your own reality. What you constantly speak about yourself becomes your identity. If you keep telling yourself you are unlucky, unworthy, or incapable, your mind will believe it and your actions will follow. But if you speak strength, possibility, and vision into your own life, you will start to live in alignment with those words. This is not fantasy. This is the simple truth that your language directs your focus, and your focus directs your life. It is not only what you say, but how you say it. A truth spoken with arrogance can close ears. A correction spoken with patience can open them. The tone of your voice, the timing of your words, and the intent behind them all determine whether your message creates or destroys. Master communicators understand that delivery is as important as content. There will be moments when holding your tongue is more powerful than speaking. Not every thought needs to become a word. Not every feeling needs to be expressed. Silence can protect you from revealing too much, from escalating a conflict, or from committing to something you will regret. Sometimes the most powerful statement is the one you choose not to make. However, there will also be moments when speaking up is your duty. Words left unsaid can destroy just as much as words spoken recklessly. Failing to speak truth in the face of lies, failing to defend what matters, failing to encourage when someone is falling, These silences can be just as damaging as sharp words. Power with words means knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. People will test you with their words. They will provoke insult and challenge you. If you respond with the same recklessness, you hand them control. But if you respond with calm, measured strength, you keep the upper hand. Words in the hands of the disciplined can disarm enemies, win allies, and build bridges even in conflict. Your success in life will depend heavily on the relationships you build. And relationships are built on trust. Trust is built on consistency. And consistency is shown through your words matching your actions. Say what you mean what you say, and never make promises you are not prepared to keep. Each time your words and actions align, you strengthen your foundation. Each time they don't, you weaken it. In the end, words are tools. In the hands of the careless, they are dangerous. In the hands of the wise, they are transformative. With your words, you can lift someone from despair or push them deeper into it. You can inspire greatness or provoke destruction. You can open doors that lead to a better life, or you can close them forever. The choice is yours every time you open your mouth. So speak with purpose. Speak with discipline. Speak with the understanding that your words have consequences far beyond the moment you speak them. Build more than you destroy. Create more than you tear down. Let your words leave people better than they were before they heard them. Because at the end of your life, the things you said will echo longer than the things you did, and they will tell the world who you truly were. A mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it will grow, whether it is weeds or crops. Your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes are not random accidents. They are the result of what you feed your mind every single day. This is your mental diet. Just as your physical body reflects the food you eat, your mental state reflects the information, ideas, and influences you consume. If you feed your body junk food, your health declines. If you feed your mind toxic content, your clarity, confidence, and focus will decay. Every conversation you entertain, every piece of content you watch, every book you read, and every person you follow is shaping you, whether you notice it or not. The mind absorbs everything, silently building habits of thought that later become habits of action. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, complaints, gossip, and fear-based thinking, do not be surprised when your life begins to mirror that chaos. On the other hand, if you deliberately feed your mind with wisdom, vision, and empowering truths, you will begin to see your outer life align with inner strength. Many people fail to protect their mental diet because they underestimate the power of small, repeated influences. They think one negative conversation won't hurt. They think watching one pointless video won't matter. But the mind works exactly like the body. One unhealthy meal may not destroy your health, but the repetition will. One inspiring conversation may not change your life instantly, but the repetition will. What you consume daily compounds over time. It either sharpens you into a weapon of clarity or dulls you into a victim of distraction. Your environment is a buffet. The question is, are you mindlessly eating what's served, or are you intentionally selecting what nourishes you? If you don't choose, the world will choose for you. And the world will feed you fear, division, shallow entertainment, and false priorities. Social media will sell you illusions. News outlets will sell you fear. Gossip will sell you insecurity. You must be the one to say no to mental junk food and yes to mental nutrition. To control your mental diet, you must start with awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after certain interactions or after consuming certain content. Do you feel motivated or do you feel drained? Do you feel hopeful or do you feel anxious? Your emotional state after consumption is the proof of the quality of your mental diet. If something leaves you feeling heavier, weaker, or distracted, cut it out. It doesn't matter if it's popular, entertaining, or addictive. If it poisons your mind, it poisons your future. Build a routine of mental nourishment. Read books that challenge you to grow. Listen to voices that speak truth and discipline into your life. Study people who have achieved the kind of results you seek. Surround yourself with those who think bigger, not smaller. Even your casual entertainment should serve your goals. It should inspire, not corrupt. Your mind is the foundation of everything you will ever do. So guard it as if your life depends on it, because it does. Your mental diet also includes self-talk, the words you say to yourself every day. You can eat the food of encouragement or the poison of self-doubt. When you constantly repeat, I can't, I'm not good enough, or it's too hard, You are feeding yourself the very toxins that will paralyze your actions. Replace those with, I will figure this out, I am capable, and every step moves me closer. Speak life into your mind, and your mind will produce life in your results. There will be temptations to consume mental junk food because it's easy, it's everywhere, and it gives instant gratification. But remember, the most dangerous food is the one that tastes good but kills slowly. Mindless scrolling, shallow entertainment, toxic arguments. These feel good in the moment, but rob you of focus, ambition, and mental clarity. Choose instead the harder path. The books that stretch you, the ideas that challenge your comfort, the conversations that demand you think deeply. A great mental diet is not about perfection, but about discipline. You will occasionally hear negativity, stumble across distractions, or entertain low-quality thoughts, but you must return quickly to nourishment. Just like a fit body recovers from one unhealthy meal, a disciplined mind recovers from occasional mental junk. The key is not letting it become your norm. Your life will rise or fall to the level of your mental diet. Feed your mind power, and you will act with power. Feed it weakness, and you will live in weakness. The choice is yours every single day, and it is made not in grand moments, but in small, quiet decisions about what you read, watch, hear, and believe. If you want a sharper mind, a stronger will, and a greater life, treat your mind like the most precious asset you own, because it is. Guard it, feed it well, and it will create a future worth living. Neglect it, and it will create a future worth regretting. The decision is in your hands, and it starts now. Calm is a weapon, sharper than any sword, stronger than any army, and more reliable than any plan. In a world where chaos is constant and emotions run wild, the man who remains calm holds the highest ground. Calm is not weakness. It is controlled power. It is the ability to think while others panic, to choose while others react, and to lead while others lose their direction. Calmness is the mark of a mind that has trained itself to respond with precision, not with impulse. It is the shield that protects you from making costly mistakes, and the compass that keeps you steady on your path. When storms hit, people look for the loudest voice or the fastest action, but true leadership is found in the one who does not tremble when the wind howls. Calmness is clarity, and clarity is rare. The world moves fast, noise is everywhere, and pressure never sleeps. But when you train yourself to be calm under pressure, you slow down the noise in your mind while the world keeps spinning. In that stillness, you see opportunities others miss. You notice patterns others overlook. You think in straight lines while others spiral into confusion. Calm is not something you are born with, it is something you build. You build it in small moments when you choose to pause before responding, when you refuse to let anger dictate your words, and when you breathe instead of breaking. Every time you remain calm in a situation that once triggered you, you sharpen your weapon. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. Calm gives you control over yourself and over situations. When you are calm, people trust you more because they sense you are grounded. Your decisions hold weight because they are not poisoned by panic. You negotiate better because you listen fully. You lead better because you see the bigger picture. In personal relationships, calmness keeps you from saying the one sentence that could cause damage you can't take back. In business, calmness stops you from making desperate moves that destroy months of progress. The opposite of calm is chaos, and chaos always loses to preparation and patience. People who cannot control themselves are easily controlled by others. Their emotions make them predictable, and predictable people are easy to manipulate. But when you are calm, you are unreadable, unshakable, and untouchable. The loudest opponent will waste energy trying to get a reaction from you, but you will be too busy thinking 3 moves ahead. Calmness also protects your health. Stress is poison, and those who live in constant reaction wear themselves out before they even reach the real fight. Calm is the medicine that keeps your mind sharp and your body strong. You can think, plan, and execute better because your energy is not being burned on unnecessary emotional battles. People often confuse calmness with slowness or passivity. That is a mistake. Calmness does not mean you move slow. It means you move with precision. You are not in a hurry because you are confident. You are not rushing because you know exactly where to strike and when. Calmness allows you to act at the perfect moment, the moment that wins the battle. In high-pressure situations, The calm person always has the advantage. Think of a crisis. The one who stays calm takes control, because while others are overwhelmed, he is already thinking about solutions. In negotiations, the calmest person in the room holds the power because they do not give away their position through emotional slips. In competition, the calm athlete outlasts the one who burns out from nervous energy. Calmness is not just a weapon against the world. It is also a weapon against yourself. It stops you from sabotaging your own progress. How many times have people ruined opportunities simply because they couldn't control their reaction? A calm mind chooses patience over pride, facts over feelings, and progress over ego. That choice is what separates winners from the rest. But to master calmness, you must also master self-awareness. You must learn what triggers you, what situations pull you into emotional storms, and how to pause before you are pulled under. You cannot control the world, but you can control the space between what happens and how you respond. That space is where calm lives, and the more you protect it, the more power you have. In life, the battlefield is rarely physical. It is mental, emotional, and psychological. The fighter who keeps his mind calm will outlast the one who exhausts himself in rage. The leader who stays calm will make better decisions than the one who acts on fear. The individual who can remain calm when insulted, challenged, or pressured will always have the last move. Calmness is not the absence of strength. It is the highest form of it. It is discipline in action, power in stillness, and wisdom in motion. When you master calmness, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, no challenge, no opponent, and no storm can take you down. Keep your calm. Sharpen your weapon. The world belongs to those who cannot be shaken. Money reflects self-control. It is not just a measure of wealth, but a mirror of discipline. The way you earn it, spend it, save it, and grow it says more about your mindset than about your bank account. Money is not loyal to anyone. It flows toward those who respect it and away from those who waste it. Self-control is the bridge between wanting wealth and actually building it. Without discipline, no amount of income will make you rich. And with discipline, even small amounts can grow into abundance. When you see someone who handles money with care, you are not just looking at financial habits. You are looking at a mind that can delay gratification, resist unnecessary temptations, and focus on long-term gain over short-term pleasure. These qualities are the foundation of wealth. Without them, money slips away like water through open fingers. People often think the problem is not having enough income, but the truth is, for many, the real problem is not how much they earn, but how they manage what they have. If you cannot control yourself when you have little, you will not control yourself when you have much. A lack of self-control with a small income becomes a disaster with a large one. This is why lottery winners often go broke. They have the money, but not the discipline. Self-control with money begins with understanding the difference between needs and wants. Needs keep you stable, wants keep you entertained. Without control, wants start to disguise themselves as needs, and that's when finances spiral. Self-control is the skill of telling yourself not now instead of, I deserve this every time an impulse surfaces. This ability separates those who stay financially stuck from those who move toward freedom. Money also reflects your ability to think ahead. Every dollar you choose not to spend recklessly is a soldier you send into the battlefield of the future, fighting to protect you when emergencies come or opportunities arise. Without self-control, you have no army. You are exposed and vulnerable, forced to rely on debt, favors, or luck to survive, but with discipline, your money works for you even while you sleep. The connection between self-control and money is not just about saving, it's also about making smart investments. People without control often chase get-rich-quick schemes because they are impatient. They want results overnight, and impatience leads to risk without strategy. Those with self-control, on the other hand, understand that real wealth is built brick by brick through consistent effort and wise choices over time. Money reflects your habits as well. Every purchase you make is a vote for the kind of life you want to live. Spend without thought, and you are voting for instability. Spend with purpose, and you are voting for security. Small daily habits like tracking expenses, avoiding unnecessary debt, and living below your means build a financial foundation that no storm can shake. But the hardest part of self-control with money is not saying no to small luxuries. It is saying no when everyone else is saying yes. It's refusing to join the crowd when they spend recklessly. It's turning down an expensive vacation you can't afford, even if it means people will think you're cheap. It's choosing to drive the car you own instead of upgrading just to impress others. These decisions require confidence because self-control often means going against social pressure. Money and self-control also affect your opportunities. A person with savings can say yes to new ventures, education, or investments when they appear. A person living paycheck to paycheck, no matter their income level, is trapped. Self-control with money is freedom. Lack of it is financial slavery. Every unnecessary expense is a chain. Every impulse purchase a lock on your own cage. True self-control is not about being miserly or living in constant restriction. It's about balance, knowing when to spend, when to save, and when to invest. It's about making sure your money serves your goals instead of your impulses. A disciplined person still enjoys life, but they do so without sabotaging their future. They understand that every choice with money either builds their foundation or cracks it. Even the act of budgeting is an exercise in self-control. It forces you to confront reality, to see exactly where your money goes, and to adjust your behavior accordingly. Many avoid budgets because they do not want to face the truth. But the truth is the first step to control, and control is the first step to wealth. Your relationship with money is also your relationship with yourself. If you cannot trust yourself with money, it means you lack trust in your own decision-making. But every act of discipline, every time you choose savings over impulse, investment over consumption, you strengthen that trust. Over time, your confidence grows, not because of the numbers in your account, but because you know you have the power to handle them well. Money reflects self-control because money is amplified by time. Every dollar you waste today is not just a dollar gone. It's the opportunity that dollar could have created in the future. And every dollar you control today is a seed planted, capable of multiplying if given patience. In the end, wealth is not built by luck or chance. It is built by control. Self-control is the invisible skill that turns income into wealth, chaos into stability, and dreams into reality. The truth is simple. If you can master yourself, you can master your money. And if you master your money, you can master your future. Detach from noise, because the loudest voices are rarely the wisest. The world is drowning in distractions, in gossip, in endless streams of meaningless chatter.